O Lord, our Lord, how majestic is your name in all the earth. As we read Psalm chapter 8, verse 1, we are immediately drawn into the splendor and greatness of our Creator. It is not just an opening phrase, it is a declaration, a shout of praise that carries the weight of awe. David, the psalmist, does not simply describe God's majesty, he invites us to see it, to feel it, and to live in the awareness of it. He takes us by the hand and points to the heavens, the earth, and the works of God's hands, so that our hearts might be filled with wonder. Let us pause for a moment and consider the majesty of God as reflected in creation. Think of the vastness of the skies, the beauty of a sunrise painting the clouds in gold and crimson. Picture the stars glittering in the heavens, countless and seemingly infinite, as though each one has been placed there with purpose and care. In chapter 8, verse 3, David writes, "When I consider your heavens, the work of your fingers, the moon and the stars, which you have set in place." It is as if he is inviting us to look up and be reminded of just how grand our God is. There was a time I stood by the shore, watching the waves crash against the rocks. The rhythm of the sea seemed endless, a constant reminder of God's eternal power and presence. In that moment, I could hear the voice of creation echoing the psalmist's words. The seas, the skies, and every living thing cry out in testimony to the greatness of their Maker. Nature, in its simplicity and magnificence, is an ongoing hymn of praise. Yet, as David reflects on the grandeur of God, he turns to the mystery of humanity. What is man that you are mindful of him, the Son of Man that you care for him? He asks in chapter 8, verse 4. Here is where the heart of this psalm begins to speak directly to ours. Imagine the creator of the universe, the one who set the stars in their places and commands the galaxies, turning his attention to you and me. What an extraordinary thought. God, in his infinite majesty, does not see us as insignificant. In fact, chapter 8, verses 5 and 6 reveal something truly profound. You have made him a little lower than the heavenly beings and crowned him with glory and honor. You made him ruler over the works of your hands. You put everything under his feet. These verses remind us of our dignity and purpose. God created us with value and entrusted us with stewardship over his creation. I recall a story about a young boy who was given a small plot of land by his father. The land was rocky and barren, and the boy felt it was of no use. But his father saw potential and told him, "Work the ground, plant the seeds, and see what happens." Over time, as the boy labored with care and determination, the barren plot transformed into a flourishing garden. His father's gift was not simply the land, it was the responsibility and trust that came with it. Similarly, God has entrusted us with his creation, calling us to care for it and to reflect his image in the world. This truth can be both humbling and empowering. To think that God, in all his splendor, chooses to involve us in his work is a testament to his love and grace. We are not mere spectators in his creation, we are participants, crowned with glory and honor. This dignity is not something we earn, it is bestowed upon us by the Creator himself. But let us not forget the balance of this psalm. While it exalts humanity's position, it also points us back to the majesty of God. Our worth is derived from him. It is his image in us that gives us value. David's refrain in chapter 8, verse 9, "O Lord, our Lord, how majestic is your name in all the earth," brings us full circle. We begin and end with the glory of God, and it is in his glory that we find our identity. As I think about this psalm, I am reminded of a dear friend who went through a season of doubt. She felt overwhelmed by the challenges of life and began to question her worth. One evening, as she walked through a park, she looked up at the night sky. The stars were unusually bright, and in that moment, she felt a deep sense of God's presence. Psalm chapter 8, verse 4 came to her mind. What is man that you are mindful of him? She realized that despite her struggles, God had not forgotten her. His majesty was a reminder of his faithfulness, and his mindfulness of her was a testament to his love. This is the beauty of Psalm 8. It not only lifts our eyes to the majesty of God but also reassures us of his care for each of us. We are not lost in the vastness of creation. We are seen, known, and valued by the Creator himself. This truth has the power to transform how we see ourselves and how we live. When we truly grasp the majesty of God and the dignity He has given us, it changes everything. It fills us with gratitude and compels us to worship. It gives us a sense of purpose and a desire to live in a way that honors Him. It also reminds us of the responsibility we have as stewards of His creation, called to reflect His goodness in all we do. So, let us join with David in proclaiming, O Lord, our Lord, how majestic is your name in all the earth. Let us live in awe of His greatness and in gratitude for the dignity He has given us. Let us care for His creation and one another as reflections of His glory. And let us never forget that we are deeply loved by the One who placed the stars in the sky and calls each of them by name. In the stillness of a quiet moment, I invite you to reflect on these words. Look up at the sky, or take a walk in nature, and let the beauty of creation draw your heart to the Creator. Remember that the same God who fashioned the heavens is mindful of you. He has crowned you with glory and honor, and His majesty is a constant reminder of His presence in your life. As we meditate on Psalm chapter 8, may our hearts be filled with wonder, our spirits be lifted in praise, and our lives be a testimony to the greatness of our God.